had to go walk to dinner, which was further along the road. It was like an old chapel where we used to have our dinner. And because I was only little, somebody had to hold my hand to take me along there. And she used to squeeze my hand. She was a bit nasty. And she used to tease me because I said "fui" instead of "three." And anyway, one day she let go of my hand, so I ran home. And then my dad brought me back in the afternoon, but I wasn't very happy.
I remember the teachers, and yes, Evelina Glyn Williams was one of them, and she had monitors for everything. She was a real character, and she taught music as well. She had shoe monitors, so we took off her shoes. One was a left hand and one was a right, so a child would take off her sort of walking shoes and put on her teaching shoes.
On a Friday afternoon, everybody would be in her class. So about 40, 50 kids would be in her classroom. She had an amazing voice and used to tell stories. I loved those times. Friday afternoon was best in school, really, because it was always reading time. And when I was in Standard 5, I sat next to a boy called John Barton, and his parents had the shop in town that had all the magazines and comics. And so he'd have a pile of comics on his desk, and I used to have first choice of them.
Cymraeg oedd ar ei rhan fwyaf, ond wedyn os ni'n mynd i cael rhain y teachers, oedden nhw methu siarad Cymraeg. Miss Lloyd oedd ei henwi o Gonwy, o hi methu siarad Cymraeg. Wedyn, bob tro oedden ni'n mynd i dosbarth i, oedden ni'n siarad Saesneg.
I didn't know Welsh, but we learnt it through books. We didn't learn it by speaking. And the most of the language in the playground was actually English, strangely, although there was quite a lot of Welsh around as well. But that was quite easy to understand. You just grew up with it, and singing in Welsh, of course, and the prayers in Welsh every morning. Yeah, ain't hard. We said 3 prayers, 1 in English and 2 in Welsh. And then the Roman Catholics came in later because they had to go to the Roman Catholic Church to say their prayers before they came into school. And my best friend was Roman Catholic. She said they always felt awful, as though they'd been naughty coming to school late.
O'n am uniform gyda ni, yn byd, just dillad iawn. O'n a rein dod efo bratia, chi fatha ffedog ystalwm, dwi'n neud allan o sach. O'n a rein dod I fewn fela, ond o'n I ddim yn dod I fewn fela.
One of the nice things we did was listening to the radio. They had a big radio, I think that was quite new, and we'd listen to schools' programmes. I think that was a Thursday morning, so that was quite nice. But it was just more interesting than having a teacher speaking at you. It's just a very different way of learning, really. And we loved the radio then anyway, absolutely loved it. Everybody sat around the radio.
O gadden ni'n cael needlework. Wel, difyr I fel te. Oedd o'n mor slow pethau. Wedyn, oedd I mond... Dydych mae'na 8 yna ni yn y dosbarth. Wedyn mae rhywun eisiau gwneud coban. Neu mae rhywun... Oedd hi'n concentrate just ar y ddynas o eisiau gwneud y coban. Oedd canu hyms yna ni. Oedd ni'n gyfo just ista fanna ac oedd hi'n dysgu ni sydd I hemio a bethau fel yna chwbl.
The headmaster was Frank Pierce. And if you did anything naughty, the girls or the boys, he would get the middle finger of his knuckle and pummel it into your arm.
Athrawes yn sgrechian wedyn a gwylian ni a'r hogian gael ei gyrru allan wedyn i'r corridor ac oedd 7 gwaith wedyn cos o'n nhw'n ei fwy o dŵr allan o fan, eisiau dod nhw fewn yn ôl. Happy days.